Hi scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with a Valentine's Day themed layout. So I just wanted to kind of do a quick little chat session with you before I started jumping into scrapbooking. So first off, I already made the background paper. I have it on a different video, which you might have already seen. It just kind of depends on when I post this video and when I post that video. But what I did with this was I used these doilies that I got from Michael's, and I used them as a mask, and I used, to glue them down and keep them down, I used this Tombow Mono removable adhesive. And this worked really well to keep these down. Some of them worked better than others. I think this one was probably the worst, but it worked really, really well. And then the adhesive removed really well, like it came off, because it did kind of stick a little bit because the doilies got really wet, and so it would kind of stick to the page, but it all removed really well, and there's no sticky adhesive or sticky residue left behind. So I really, really love this Tombow Mono removable adhesive. I am a Tombow brand ambassador, so they did send me this product for free, just so that you know. I have bought some of their, let's see, I've used their permanent adhesive, and I really, really love it. So it was fun to be able to use their removable adhesive and review that. So I will try to leave a link below if I have already posted that video. And I also have another craft coming up soon using that adhesive as well. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick. So this is the background that I'm going to be using. And then I also bought a digital paper collection from Claudia, what is her name? I think it's Claudia Van R Designs on Etsy. So you should go and look her up. I bought her Valentine's Day collection, which was gorgeous, and I printed off 5 of the papers. And the blacks aren't that amazing looking because I am running out of ink and I just didn't want to waste ink. So I didn't replace my black cartridge, which I probably should have since I wanted to print these, but it still turned out okay. You can see kind of down here where my ink just was, you know, not doing so well, and up here too. And honestly, my printer, I think, is on the fritz for doing color printing. I need to just we actually have a new printer, but we wanted to use up all of the cartridges, the old ink cartridges. So we haven't switched to the new printer yet. I hope we're going to do that soon, because we've had the newer printer for like at least a year, but we've been using up the old cartridges on the old printer. So, but these are the 4 pages that I printed off. I really liked this, the black stripe, and then the pink polka dots and the pink triangles, and I love the fading texture, or the ombre look, I guess is what it's called. And then there's this paper, and then this one was my absolute favorite. And I actually printed it on some textured cardstock that I wasn't going to be using, so I just used the back side of it. And so it does look a little bit different because it is on textured paper. But I really, really love these papers. So if you haven't already, go check out Claudia Van R Designs on Etsy, and I will leave a link below as well. Next up, let me switch to the black piece of paper here. Okay. She also, in the kit, had 2 sheets of ephemera. So I do have a silhouette, so she does include a tracing page as well, so that you can cut it out with the silhouette. And I was planning on doing that, but I printed it, and then I realized, oh crap, I didn't print the registration marks, which is what you need to print with the silhouette, to get it to find the right shapes and everything. So I just kind of cut all of these out by hand. I could have used my Pick Scan mat, because I do have a Pick Scan mat, but I just didn't want to mess with it. I'm, you know, a little bit technically challenged, and I've tried using my Pick Scan mat, and I couldn't get it to work. It would not register the registration mark. So I have no idea what I was doing, if I was doing something wrong. I'm sure it was probably a user error rather than a mechanical error, because yeah, I am a little bit technically challenged. So if you have any tips on how to use the Picscan mat from Silhouette, I would love it if you would leave a comment, because that would be awesome. I think my husband actually gave it to me a few years ago for my birthday, and I've never used it. And so I was so excited to use it a couple months ago, and then I couldn't get it to work, so that was kind of a bummer. But these are just one of the sheets that she has. And yeah, I think it's so stinking cute. I'm way excited. So I thought I would pull this kit together and use it for this Valentine's Day layout. And I am doing this layout as a Scrappy challenge, and I have a group on Facebook called Scrappy Challenges, and every Sunday we post a new challenge and we have a new layout and a video to go along. And it's me and Ronnie Sue Scrapper, as well as Jennifer Cambridge and Paper KK here on YouTube. So come on over to Scrappy Challenges on Facebook, and we would love to have you. Okay, so these are the two photos that I have. So I'm scrapbooking with a Valentine's Day collection, but these are not Valentine's Day photos because I didn't really have any Valentine's Day photos. So I just thought I would pick out a really cute photo of my son. This is my son Jonas when he was about 3 years old. And then this is a picture of me when I was about 3 years old. And so I want to tell the story about how much alike we look. Like Jonas literally could be my twin, right? Can you see that resemblance? Like, look at that. We both have curly hair, and our faces just look so much alike. And I just love these two photos. This is actually a photo of a photo, which I probably should just scan this photo and use a real photo, but I don't know. I don't know. I kind of just like, I don't know. Maybe I do want to do that now. Now I'm kind of second guessing myself. Maybe I don't want to use this photo just yet. But I think I'm just going to kind of go with it, and I can deal with adding a different photo later if I want to. So yeah, and the other thing was that this one was a landscape photo and this one's a portrait photo. So that's also the other reason why I didn't want to use this photo like that. But now I'm second guessing myself. So I might have to come back after printing this one off. I don't know. We'll just kind of use this as a placeholder, and I will just, you know, kind of figure out what I want to do. But anyway, so that is the layout, or the photos that I'm going to be using on this layout. So I will start fast forwarding. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Okay, so here you can see that I pulled off the real photo. I went and got the photo from the photo frame, and I am going to just use it as a placeholder on this layout. And I am going to eventually someday print off a real version, because that photo is, as you know, old as I am pretty much. So I don't want to use the original. So I'll scan it and then print it off someday. But here I am going to use this polka dotted paper from Claudia's Love Forever collection. And I'm just going to mat the photo with it. And then this is where I kind of get a little bit lost. I'm thinking, okay, I want to do something different and use a couple different layers behind the photo. I don't normally scrapbook this way. Well, I do layers, but I don't normally do them kind of wonky or anything like that. So this was a little bit different. So I'm going to spend some time building up some layers behind the photo. And then I stop and look at it and I'm like, oh, I hate the way this looks. So I decide that I am just going to take it apart. So I think, let's see. Oh, I actually do glue it down. I forgot that I had actually glued it down. So here I cut it up. And now I'm thinking, okay, it needs to be on a black background because the background that I made is pink. So it wasn't going to work like that. So then I decide, okay, I'm just going to use this striped paper, and that's how I back that photo. Now here I am going to take off all the adhesive from the ATG gun on these papers, and then I'm going to glue down that extra photo, or not extra photo, but the placeholder photo with some Tombow Mono removable glue. So here I'm just spending a little bit of time erasing, or removing the adhesive that I had already put on there. Okay, so now I am going to glue it down with the Tombow glue, like I said, and I'm liking the way that looks. So now I'm going to glue it down with my ATG gun on that pink triangle ombre paper. And now I'm going to ink the edges just so that that pink paper will stand out on the background. And I'm also going to do the same thing for this photo mat. And now I'm going to start kind of fiddling around with the photos and trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with this layout. So I have the photo of my son Jonas on top of the other photo, and I really like the way that looks. I don't normally do it that way. Normally I put the smaller photo on top of the bigger photo, but there was more white space, I guess you could call it, in the photo of me as a little girl. So I decided to put the photo of my son over top of that. Now here I'm just using a few labels and ephemera from the Love Forever kit, and I'm just placing it in random places on the layout. Up there in the top right hand corner, I have a label that I'm going to put the date of the photo of my son, and then I'm going to find out probably just the year that photo of me was taken. I'm guessing it was probably 86 because I was born in 83, but I'm not exactly sure. So I'm going to call my mom one of these days, just like I'm going to print off a copy of that photo one of these days. So here I'm just building up this cluster up there in the top right hand corner, and I am using my ATG gun just to glue down all of these layers. That was a cute little strip of hearts. And now here I'm going to glue down the photo, and I wanted to make sure that I could still pick up the photo of my son so that I could stick in the replacement photo, the one that I will put there eventually. Sorry, I can't talk tonight. But I wanted to make sure that everything didn't stick down on top of that photo that's just holding the place. So here I'm just gluing down all of these little ephemera pieces and kind of inking them up just a little bit so that they all look kind of cohesive. Now here I am pulling out my rotary date stamp, and this is from Becky Higgins. And I just put the date up there in that corner. I kind of smudged the month, but oh well, you can still tell what it says. It was June. So here I'm just cleaning off that stamp, and then now I'm going to start working on that cluster up in the top left-hand corner. So because this layout is a little bit right heavy, I don't know what you would say, but the photos and everything makes the layout unbalanced because of the area that it's all in. So I wanted to make sure I had a little cluster up there in the top left-hand corner to balance it all out. And So I'm just kind of putting a few pieces on there, and I keep losing that photo. I don't know why, but the adhesive didn't want to stick to this paper. I'm wondering if it was just because it was really textured that it just was having a hard time. So here I am using these, this is thickers from American Crafts, and they are Fitzgerald, which was from Chamel's first line, and they are in gold. These are some of my favorite thickers. And then I'm just going to do my journaling, and I don't really do a whole lot of writing or anything. I just say, Jonas and I looked so much alike at 3 years old. I just love the curly hair and cute chubby cheeks. And then I'm going to write journaled on in the right-hand corner. And then I am going to stamp out the date that I made this layout, just so that I know when exactly I made this layout. Okay, so this layout is pretty much done. I am going to build a little cluster right here by the title, just because it kind of felt like it needed a little bit more something there, because it felt a little bit empty. So I'm just going to use a couple of these pieces, and I'm going to glue them down there, and then that is going to be the end of this layout. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure that you head on over to Ronnie's channel, as well as Jennifer Cambridge and Paper KK. And if you would like to come and join our Facebook group, just look us up. We're Scrappy Challenges on Facebook. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.